The smile quickly leaves the face of this very concerned resident of Spring Valley Lake as he expresses his deep concern about the exterior appearance of Spring Valley Lake.
Well, Terry, for those that don't know me, my name is Joseph Brady. I'm proud to be the president of the Bradco Companies in Victorville, the longest standing full service commercial broker in the region. I've lived in Spring Valley Lake literally in the same house for 36 and a half years. I love Spring Valley Lake. I love Bear Valley Country Club. I'm also proud to be on the board of trustees of Victor Valley Community College. I'm completing my third term as president of the board. Back in 2005, 2006, and 2007, I was chairman of the finance committee. And I remember back in 2005 addressing the board of directors and telling them that there was a project called Las Flores Ranch. Well, Las Flores Ranch then became Tapestry after it was foreclosed. Then after that project was fully entitled for 9,633 acres, 15,663 dwelling units, the name became Silverwood. Well, Silverwood is now real. Terry Kurtz, who's filming this with me, my wife Francisco, many people I know, I've taken down to Silverwood to meet with John Ohanian and to take a look at this project that is just a game changer for the high desert region. So why am I telling people on Facebook this and all those within Spring Valley Lake? Because we have Colleen Lugay, you'll be able to put it out. I'm very concerned about the exterior appearance of Spring Valley Lake. I'm also concerned sometimes of some of the interior problems that we may have with homeowners that don't abide by the CCNRs or the bylaws. But back in 2005, Terry, I warned the association that there was going to be competition. And when this project it's already broken ground. The models, so they've already moved 15 million cubic yards of dirt. You'll drive 2 miles into the project. It's 8 miles long by the time it gets built. 15,000 homes. So it's 4 times the size of Spring Valley Lake. So Spring Valley Lake is about 1,000 acres, has a 208 acre man-made lake, has 4,215 lots, we're about 98% built out. I think that we need to dress up the outside. So for those of you that drive down Ridgecrest going north, there's no monument signs. There's nothing on our walls. Our walls have never been steam cleaned or painted. They look terrible. We have a dirt strip that goes from Paiute now up to Pebble Beach. The county finally put in the area from Pebble Beach on up to Vista Point. There's no sidewalk north of that. There's no sidewalk all the way around Spring Valley Lake. There's half sidewalk on Paiute from Tamarisk or I Avenue right there up to the top, and there's nothing below it. So what I'm suggesting is this. Spring Valley Lake is 98% built out. It has an assessed value of $1.7 billion. Okay, I asked Chris Willhite here a couple of months ago. I actually shared this, I think it was on April 17th, with the Spring Valley Lake MAC. Let me stop there. Let's talk about the MAC. The MAC is the Spring Valley Lake Municipal Advisory Committee. It's a committee that's put together on behalf of our First District Supervisor, Paul Cook, and they're really there to be an extension of his office to talk about things that need to be done. But I'm very concerned about what it's doing and what it's not doing. It's got 5 members. I know 3 of them very well. The current chairperson is Sherry Boyd. The vice chair is Jerry Lawrence. I've known Jerry forever. And a part of it is Dennis Verhagen. The 2 other people on there I don't know, and I do apologize for not knowing you personally. I was somewhat of the person that opposed the plan back in 2020, where there was a prominent group of residents within Spring Valley Lake that wanted to get rid of the CSD or CSA 64 and replace it with the CSA, with their own CSD. And I was opposed to it because I said the county's doing a great job. Okay, well, Steve Samaras got sick and retired, so we've had nothing but problems with our streets being cleaned and just anything being done. Now Jared's taken over down there and he's doing a good job, but things are not operating as well as they should. And candidly, Terry, I've gone back through and I invite anybody to go take a look at the SVL MAC website. They've had I think 4 meetings canceled in the last 2 years, so it means nothing's going on. And they keep talking about the same thing, like the archway when you come on the parkway. As Jared Lawrence just recently came to Victor Valley Community College and said, "Hey, would Victor Valley Community College participate with Spring Valley Lake MAC, or actually the county, and Bear Valley Country Club, and put a nice monument as you come in on Spring Valley Parkway?" kind of a no-brainer. And I'll tell you one thing, Jerry will go out and she'll gain consensus. She's a person that's very passionate about it. I've known her forever, and you're not going to say no to her. So she realizes that monument's really important by appearance, but she recognizes as much as I do that the entryway is worthless. So if you go back and you look at their agendas, I just did it this weekend. Well, what's the MAC doing? So I'm not poking at Sherry or Jerry or Dennis. What I'm saying to Sam Shoup, okay, so I came there in April, and I came to talk about beautification of the outside of Spring Valley Lake. You know, I was surprised. I'm an elected official. When anybody comes to Victor Valley Community College and asks for a little bit more time, we always give it to him. He cut me off, and there's no document of me speaking to their board saying, you know what, I think that we could go to Paul Cook. I think Paul's a really smart guy. He used to be in Congress. So we generate 1.7 billion, not million, billion to the county per year. Okay, 1% of that is $17 million. Okay, so let's say the county, because I'm also going to send this to Dawn Rowe, Dawn is the chairman of the Board of Supervisors. She also is supervisor for the 3rd District. So this is not her district, but I will say this, Terry, and Dawn, I'm not saying this to blow smoke. I email her, I get a response in an hour. Okay, you email Paul Cook's office and you may not get a response for days. And I don't think that's the way that Paul sees it, but to be sure the county gets a hold of this, I'm also going to send it to the CEO, a guy named Luther Snokes, a guy I have a tremendous amount of respect for. So what I'm asking the county to do is take a look and say, you know what, we have competition coming. You're dependent upon taxes to run your $8 billion empire on out there with 25,000 employees in 21,000 square miles. Why don't you give Spring Valley Lake a couple $1 million, and let's really dress up the outside of Ridgecrest and Paiute. Let's put landscaping. Let's make it look nice. Let's put some nice monumentation in there. You know, as people drive, let's make Spring Valley Lake proud. Then let's extend that sidewalk down to Green Tree. Let's turn it eastbound all the way on over to the bridge. If you notice, when you get over to the bridge, there's a sidewalk on both sides. Well, the county could come back and say, well, we have a bike lane between the curb and Yates Road. So what happens, Green Tree becomes Yates, becomes Yuckaloma. So there's actually 3 stretches. You know, I know people that ride their bikes that don't want to ride within that because people up here don't drive well. So we got plenty of room to put a sidewalk in. We have plenty of room to put some landscape, and we have plenty of room to make Spring Valley Lake look like the community I think that it deserves. So Terry, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna send it. I'm initially gonna send it to Kimberly Messon and Tim in Paul Cook's office. I will send it to Dawn, and I know she'll look at it immediately. I mean, she's wonderful, and I'll send it to Luther. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it to Sherry Boyd and to Jerry and to Dennis. And I'm going to wait about 3 days. And then I'm going to post it on Facebook. And then we'll let the residents decide how they want to do this. So for people who are watching this at the end, if you're concerned to help me manage my time, because I'm actually in the commercial real estate business, feel free to email me, and Terry will put my email down there. And put in SVLA, just put in SVLA improvements in the subject line. That way I can take all your emails and be sure to put your name, your mailing address and your home address, your cell number and all that. And maybe we just got to do this the old-fashioned way. You know, I know people don't like that. I know that when I went up against the establishment on defeating the CSD, they really thought they had it in hand. And what they didn't realize was that people wanted facts. They loved the videos that we're doing. And you know what? We clearly won that fight by 70% vote. So I don't want to remind anybody of that, but this is something that Terry, I drive Ridgecrest sometimes 3 round trips a day. My office is only 1.4 miles. So to go on home and get an hour of, you know, watching the news and doing my emails is easier than grabbing lunch. And I'll tell you, it pains me to see how the landscape on the west side of Ridgecrest looks, and they have nice monument, you know, in entry, and they're not private communities, and how ours just looks stale and dry. You know, people hit the wall, and it takes them months to fix it up. So I'm hoping for some input. If you don't agree with me, feel free to email me as well. I mean, this is America, I think, as we just found out on November 5th, which I'm really, really happy about. But I care deeply about Spring Valley Lake, and if you agree, I'd love to hear from you. If you disagree, I'd love to hear from you anyway, because we are in America. Thanks again. My name is Joseph W. Brady. I'm a resident of Spring Valley Lake. I'm proud to be president of the Bradco Companies. My office number, if you want to leave a long message, is 760-951-5111, extension 101. Thanks again. Take care.